Coming up on Be Kind, Let's Rewind.
Today, guys, we're celebrating the 1-year anniversary. We've been doing this for a year.
Walker told me I had AIDS.
I'm on a flight out of Beijing, China. I can't say much. The rumors are true, Chris. I gotta get the out of here.
It was disastrous. We were getting drunker and drunker.
Please do not drink and drive, because you may hit a bump and spill the drink.
But we did a Beavis and Butthead out of the gate, and it was awful.
Friday.
Family Guy.
Predator, not the Chris Hansen show, the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
What about when they start making sex robots?
I bet that tastes good.
We're 30 minutes in, and I look down, and the record button is not on.
You didn't see that, Gibbs?
I don't want your
4, 3, 2, 1.
Cue music.
And I feel God in this Chili's tonight.
Welcome to Be Kind, Let's Rewind, the nostalgia podcast no one asked for, with your hosts, Chris, Leaf, and Shadwick.
For Rogue's ass.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Be Kind, Let's Rewind, the nostalgia podcast that no one asked for. Today, guys, we're celebrating the 1-year anniversary. We've been doing this shit for a year, and we thought to ourselves, as kids growing up, we always hated clip shows, so we decided to do one for you. Talk about ourselves
For one long year.
Yeah,
we had this episode shoved up your ass.
Up his ass.
Up his ass.
We just lost all of our viewers. Everyone's like, I'm not watching a damn rehash
So
episode.
actually, today's episode is called The Rewindies. Think the Dundies on crack.
The Dundies! How can I explain it?
And so we're bringing Gibbs back. Special guest, Mr. Gibbs, dressed up very nice in his tuxedo. Leaf, I see you're dappered up. Me and Shadow.
I am.
Just
I'm winning the best member of Be Kind, Let's Rewind. I'm winning.
You're the face of the business.
The face of the business.
You came in second in my ballot.
What we found out, though, is we started this back in September of last year on a Monday. And almost as if divine intervention, if I could have our guest go ahead and tell us what day was that we started this podcast on?
9/11.
So, thanks, Norm.
Nothing funny about 9/11.
Nope.
Nothing.
I mean, but that's when we started it, man. Actually, was when we went back and looked.
Reminds me of that tragedy.
That tragedy. Yes, it does. So for this one, we're just going to go through, kind of talk about some behind the scenes stuff, whatever we feel like talking about with the episodes. But we're going to start off, as we usually do, with
Balls of the Week!
Get out of the street, you fucking bum!
So this one is going to be more of a best of. So we kind of went back and everybody picked out their favorites. I'll go first. My favorite one this year, guys, supporting the Always Sunny guys with some Four Walls whiskey. Ooh, and, it's just a novelty. It's probably just an average whiskey, but I have more of a commoner's tongue.
No, I don't eat dragon because it's not a meal for peasants. It's a meal for kings, and I'm sort of a common man.
So it works for me. Shadwick, what was your favorite booze of the week this year?
I had a couple that I was stuck on. I'm actually going to go with the Knob Creek Maple.
The Maple, I forgot about that. That one was a mainstay. With honorable mention to your boss ass Bloody Mary with the bacon and all the accoutrement.
I mean, it was good, but I got fucked up that day.
He's like, I got in trouble that day.
I've not had a Bloody Mary since then.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did. You were like falling the bathtub drunk, weren't you?
I was trying to do my chores. I was choring.
You're choring and couldn't get it done.
That's how he lost his leg to the lawnmower.
Yeah.
But what a night.
Dewey, I'm cutting half pretty bad.
Leaf, what was your favorite this year? Favorite booze of the week that you
Man, I honestly wanted to vote for Shadwick's like Bloody Mary, dude. Like, that was just amazing. Like
it was man.
It was so good. We made the same Bloody Mary, but with all the Shadwick's accoutrement. So I'm a spicy boy. So I like I'm gonna actually go with the Zing Zang Bloody Mary as my favorite. Not as done up as well as Shadwick. I think I had a piece of like bacon in it. Maybe a shrimp cocktail or two. I can't remember.
Presentation matters, you know. We've watched all these cooking shows.
You eat with your eyes first. You eat with your eyes.
You eat with your eyes. And Gibbs, bring it home, man. What? Just off the top of my head, what would be your favorite booze of the week?
Spicy pickle vodka from the original pickle shot. Today, since it's a fancy day, I'm going to be drinking it out of a
just champagne.
Hey, so I didn't know that we were not boozing today.
No, we're still boozing. We're just reminiscing.
Okay, so honorable mention for today, I have Tailgate Red from Georgia Winery.
Okay,
Georgia.
That's classy.
It is.
It's very sweet.
And I'll go ahead and segue over into, we've had, of course, with all of our episodes this year, we've had several shit stuck in my head this week, but there was one clear-cut winner.
And how you doing, little partner?
Fine. And it's little visitor now. Attaboyoli's how you say it in Cherokee.
I bet it is.
Well, pardon my French, but I'll be damned.
Walker told me I have AIDS.
Bro, that never gets old, dude. Walker, why?
And again, I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. The kid was dead the whole time in The Sixth Sense.
So
I'll be damned.
Yeah, I'll be damned.
I'll be damned.
Go ahead and start looking out for our new shirt that we're going to have coming out probably the next couple of weeks, the Walker Told Me shirt. So be sure to get it at our new shop. We've got a new shop we're working on that's going to be up in a couple of weeks as well. So just stay tuned on that one, of course. And guys, let's get over to our first category.
And I just want to tell you, please do not drink and drive, because you may hit a bump and spill the drink.
So when we do these, this first category is going to be our best interview. All right. This doesn't mean like our favorite person we interviewed. This is basically our performance. We're kind of grading on this one. So with that, I'll go ahead and take it over to the nominees. And Leaf, do you mind reading them aloud as they come up? And here we go.
Don't mind that at all.
And the nominees are John Finkel, Brad Baluchian, Michael Uslin.
And guys, I guess the winner on this one from us was Michael Uslin, and I think that's just because also like all three of these guys are amazing, but Michael Uslin, I think we finally figured it out at that point. At least for me, I felt pretty comfortable, pretty confident going into that. I didn't feel John, I was pretty nervous. Brad, I was starting to figure it out. And by the time we hit Michael, I was all right.
And I was a little nervous with Michael just because I didn't know how I was going to be able to hold back tears and corral my erection.
Yeah. Also, a little behind the scenes footage. We didn't really know if we were being catfished for a little bit. We actually didn't know if we were really talking to Michael Uslin or if, somebody's just going to come on and be like, yeah, it was me the whole time.
It's me, Michael Uslin.
Yeah.
I thought I think some of the people that I told that we had on when we had him on this podcast, they best explained it by being like, "How the hell did you get Michael Uslin?"
Yeah, I think my brother he sent me a message and he was just like, "Hey, no offense, man, but how are you guys getting real guests?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's why Mom's favorite."
That's because we have real talent. You wouldn't know anything about it.
Yeah, little behind the scenes. I'm not cheap. That's why I don't show up on here that often.
Yeah, we got a budget. We have a budget to maintain on this one.
At least I'm able to pay Gibbs in nightly installments.
You know how much insurance costs on a Ferrari, motherfucker?
No.
What I really liked about these interviews, though, is like we've actually become like pretty good friends with John. And it was basically like a more or less a cold call. Hey, listen to your audiobook when I come on the podcast. And he's just like, sure. And you're like, oh shit, that worked.
Yeah. Shout out to John and Brad. They were both exceptionally awesome and cool with us.
Yeah, and John has been great about trying to push our platform too. So
yeah, man. I mean, it's all love here. You know, this is just our best of episode where the shit that I hated as a kid when they're like, all right, it's the last episode of the season, and they're like, you remember when earlier in this year we did da da da, and I'm like, oh god damn it, no. And it's,
you remember every time this season that Urkel said, "Did I do that?
Did I do that? Butt
It's also-
fucker."
I don't remember the last.
I don't remember that part. Yeah,
I remember when we used to watch Dragon Ball Z. And they would do the for those anime fans out there, they would do the rehashed version of and it would take up like a quarter of the episode, or it would be the entire episode. By the time you realize that you'd waste your fucking time, and you'd be livid. You'd be like, I already saw that, dude. Addicted.
Gibbs.
Basically, this is kind of like the 6th or 7th season of a sitcom where they start like writing them going on vacation.
Yeah, we've run out of ideas.
Yeah.
Turns out 52 episodes. There's a lot of ideas. So we're just
we're going to play 50s versions of ourselves.
Yeah, next year we're just going to do audio commentary over the previous year's episodes. And then the year after that, probably audio commentary of the audio commentary. Stick around, Pecan, let's rewind. We deliver.
But stay tuned.
Gibbs is kind of an outsider on the interviews. Did you have any comments or any impressions from those interviews that we did?
I just on a purely selfish level, I did appreciate the shout out from
Michael. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, you know, we got to take.
It touched me right there, and I'm like a huge like comic nerd.
Oh, for sure, man.
So like that really like put special.
And you helped us a lot with the research and stuff too. Actually, we got a voicemail I must have missed. Hold on, let's go over to this.
Hey, Chris. It's your agent, Artie. I just want to call and congratulate you and on all of your accomplishments. You done well, kid. You and the boys with the podcast. You're over 1,000 downloads a month. I hear you doing. Oh, it's amazing. You're killing it. Keep up the good work. Don't forget to tell everybody about the merch, Chris. Don't forget to tell them to subscribe and on the Twitters and the Spotify's and all that. I gotta go, Chris. I'm on a flight out of Beijing, China. I can't say much. The rumors are true, Chris. I gotta get the out of here. Call me, Chris. Call me.
Well, there was our dog agent, Artie.
Somebody's chasing Artie around with chopsticks.
Allegedly.
You know,
Allegedly, that's ignorant.
Poor Artie. But yeah,
why is he always in trouble? Like there's always something going on.
Artie's always up to something, you know.
I always thought Artie was kind of like Chow, like deep down, good person, but
Oh, you never do blow before? Sometime your heart start up again. Read a book.
This next topic.
Artie's so cold.
This was a good idea. I believe Leaf came up with a little best of versus series, where you basically take, because Hollywood is Hollywood, so they're just going to do Hollywood things with. Hey, let's just rehash this idea again, which they've been doing honestly probably since the beginning of time. But it was easy. This year we had a nice little gift of the new Roadhouse movie. We even went back to the original Ghostbusters versus the all girls Ghostbusters. So we had these two versus. First one is the Ghostbusters versus Ghostbusters, and then the Roadhouse versus Roadhouse. And the winner of this one is going to be the Roadhouse versus Roadhouse. But I did want to talk about the research that kind of went into that, because when you're comparing two films, it's from two different decades. It's kind of hard But then I guess it's like whatever film you saw first, right?
2 different centuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So I mean, it doesn't really, the time period doesn't really translate over a lot of the times. Obviously nowadays we have the whole modern audiences sort of trope where things kind of get dumbed down, censored, PG-13 for lack of a better term, where you end up, they took out a lot of the nudity, the violence, things that made an 80s movie or an early 90s movie what they were, right?
Right.
And so, yeah, they don't really translate equally, even though
they took out realistic dialogue.
And as you pointed out, they took out boobies.
I like your take on boobies. And I like boobies.
Gibbs, did you watch both Roadhouses? You actually have a nice hot take on the original Roadhouse.
No, is it? I don't like the original. Okay, so my real hot take for this episode, I would just say, I like the 2016 Ghostbusters with the women better than I like the original Roadhouse.
Oh,
that is the hottest take I've ever heard.
Yeah,
I think that the original Roadhouse is absolute garbage. I don't care for it whatsoever. And at the very least, with the new Ghostbusters movie, they tried to do something different. What I don't like about the Afterlife and the Frozen New York, whatever movie it was called, they're trying to do something just repetitive. We're not getting anything really new. They're just hitting the same notes over and over and over again. When you remake something, you need to do something different. Otherwise, there's no point in doing a remake. I mean, and the humor, the tone of their new Ghostbusters movie was completely different. Like they weren't trying to do something.
Like, no, it was like Scooby Doo. It sucked.
Well, it was just different. But the thing is, I still thought it was fun. I still thought it was funny, but it wasn't trying to rehash something. And if I'm watching a movie and the entire time I'm watching that movie, I'm just like, I wish I was watching the original. Like it doesn't work for me. And the thing is, sometimes it doesn't work, but I'd rather have somebody take some sort of swing in a different direction than just. What's the point of remaking the movie?
See, I didn't get that. I didn't get that from the Ghostbusters one. I actually felt like the new Roadhouse actually went a different route and went completely different. Then,
and I loved the new Roadhouse. The new Roadhouse, I loved, and that was the thing. Though it took me a long time to actually watch the new Roadhouse, just because I didn't care for the original Roadhouse.
Yeah,
and so like, I'm not trying to like shit on anybody's, yuck anybody's yums for lack of a better term. But like I just when I was a kid, I'd watch Roadhouse and I'm like, who watches this stupid shit? And till this day, I still like look at it and I'm like, who watches this stupid shit? Here's a comparison, a weird comparison. You remember that movie, Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Yeah,
that movie was more successful back in the 80s than Roadhouse was.
Yeah.
So back then, people didn't like Roadhouse. It was just something stupid that I think over time people were like, man, this is trash.
Yeah,
and I'm going to keep watching it.
Yeah, it turned into a cult classic. It's on par with I don't know, The Last Dragon, which I like The Last Dragon better.
Yeah,
because it knew what it was. It was making fun of itself the entire time. With the female Ghostbusters, I just think the dialogue was terrible.
I honestly felt like
it was goofy and stupid. But again, like if they had tried to just do the same shit, it really would have failed for me, because like the original movie is funny, but it's funny in a very like subtle way.
Yeah. And I'm all for them like doing something new. That's cool, but you got to do something new that's good. I felt like they were writing lines for each woman just so they could each have equal amount of syllables in each scene.
Well,
I actually think that the biggest sin of that 2016 movie was them trying to shoehorn in everybody from the original movie. And I was like, no, if you're going to do something different, go do something different, which is the same thing that they repeated.
One of the good thing about I did enjoy Chadwick digging on the new Roadhouse, which actually I read an article on it the other day, and I was like, well, I already knew this because my friend Chadwick told me. On Be Kind, Let's Rewind. The way that they shot the fight scenes, where it was actually 2 different shots or 3 different shots, I was reading in this article, where they actually were making some contact with padded gloves on their face so they could get the contortion of the face, and then they spliced all the shots together to make it look pretty realistic.
Those action scenes in this new freaking Roadhouse were amazing. Like
also, Chadwick with the other point, man. What you said during the episode was, if it was named anything else, like people would be like, "That was a great movie." When you put it as Roadhouse, then it's like now it has something a comparison. It has like a legacy, yada yada. I loved the UFC fighter part of this.
Yeah.
That's the one that I loved. That made a lot of sense as a bouncer that used to be a former martial artist. Just good, great stuff.
And going back to the original Roadhouse, guys, forever and ever, do not tuck your T-shirt into your blue jeans.
Yeah, don't do that.
Why did they not have Patrick Swayze do a cameo in this?
They did. Did you not see his skeleton in the classroom?
I bet that tastes good.
Makes no sense, dude.
It doesn't have to make sense. So we're gonna go ahead and head over to Leaf. Go ahead and announce for our shows the nominees. Now I think we only did 4 this year. We're gonna start doing more. Again, we were really starting to figure this thing out early on. We were using, God help us, we were using Streamlabs early on, and it kept crashing. And I wanted to talk about an embarrassing behind the scenes moment we had one time. I don't even remember what episode it was, but we're 30 minutes in, and I look down and the record button is not on. And I was like, you do that panic thing where I was like, well, I mean, the Amazon's always watching this anyway. Like, maybe Bezos could just send me the copy of what they got, and then I could splice it in, but no. So now we're using Riverside, who I've applied to for a sponsorship deal. So Riverside, sponsor our podcast. Leaf, go ahead and read off the 4 shows that have made our final 4 on our best of shows series.
Of the TV shows, we've got X-Men series, the 1995 version, I believe. We've got Beavis and Butthead. We've got Family Guy. And, of course, South Park. All of these of which are only season 1. So for those of you that have missed those, you can go back and watch them. But we're just getting started on those television show series. Looking forward to more of those. They were all amazing amounts of fun, every single one.
So the X-Men one was fun for me because I got to go back and watch this again, and I hadn't since I was a kid, and this was such like must-see TV for us as kids.
You just like that. You just like that trucker music every time it showed Bishop.
I did laugh every time that happened, and of course that apple bottom shot of Rogue, which made the rounds on our shorts.
Made his rounds in my shorts.
Squirting his shorts every time you come around. But the X-Men series actually was a 2-parter for us. And I don't know how the hell we did it, but I think we did like 3.5 or 4 hours because we were still new. And it was in the morning too, wasn't it? Maybe that's why you were so drunk. Was that the Bloody Mary episode? I don't remember.
I'm almost 90% positive it was the Bloody Mary episode. We were sauced because at that point in time, the format we were using, we were just going through every single episode and giving it a synopsis. And how many episodes were there in that first season?
Dude, there was like 11 or 12, maybe 13.
We talked about them all, and it was disastrous. We were getting drunker and drunker and
it's a learning process.
And then what I like is like when it cuts to part 2, because I had to split up into 2 parts. When it cuts to part 2, it's just like all of our hair's messed up when it starts because we filmed a cold open. And then it's just bloodshot, like heads tilted to the side, being like, yeah, so then Jubilee.
I want to say,
watch out for her fingers. They make sparks.
I had sunglasses on, and I was doing shots of rum. And like,
that's not water.
That was not water. And then we kind of rehashed because early on, I think I don't know if we even aired it, but we did a Beavis and Butthead episode because this Be Kind Let's Rewind started off on Twitch, guys. So we thought, this would be a good idea to do it on Twitch. Quickly after Chadwick found his feet, we were like, no, we can't do that. Twitch is not a fan of the funny. So
we need editing.
Yeah. We do not have the grace of, the Pulp Fiction director to say whatever we want. But we did Beavis and Butthead out of the gate and just basically talked about our favorite episodes of Beavis and Butthead, and it was awful. And going back and watching those, which we will,
it sucked.
These guys are stupid. Get these guys off my screen now. And it was so fucking bad though. Like I know we're gonna do it on Patreon, is do a watch along, but we're all gonna need to be pretty drunk for that. It's so bad. We were so bad. Not that we're like fucking fantastic now, but goddamn, if we come leaps and bounds.
The bad thing is when we started out, and we were, especially me, so uncomfortable. We picked some fucking banger movies to do.
Oh well, those have all been wiped from the script, so we can always go back to those. So like,
so Terminator 2,
yeah, it's like our episode.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do it again because that's one of the greatest movies ever.
Right,
and plus, I don't know if you guys. I know this is a nostalgia podcast, but we're starting to see Terminator come true. Like. There's
very true.
There are these companies now that are making like humanoid robots that are equipped with AI. There was one a couple months ago that walked across like the Great Wall of China, and as it was like walking through there, it's like it's learning everything about like.
God damn it, learning.
Yeah,
Sammy, shut up.
And it starts attacking Mongolia.
Hey, fuck you, Mongolian! Don't you break down my wall!
Goddamn Mongolians.
But
break down my shitty wall.
But I mean that's scary enough. But what about when they start making like sex robots for real?
I mean, yeah, like
that's going to be the downfall.
Where are our wives going to go?
Well, here's the thing.
We don't know.
Here's the thing. Everybody's worried about. Everybody's talking about guys fucking female robots. We're going to be forced to do that because our wives are going to get the male version of the robot that can adjust the size of its dick, and it's basically
so much thought.
It's basically a vanity flesh covered vibrator. It's going to download her daily planner and be like talking to her about her day, like, oh, Susan's such a bitch, right? You're so much smarter than all the girls that you work with.
You just watch the Fleshlight episode of South Park, like, or the Shake Weight.
Now, what is the website for this?
Yeah, that's terrible. That's awful. And where would somebody find that website?
So they're going. So those robots are going to be like catered for women. I bet all the
as long as they mow the lawn and shit, I don't really.
No shit. But
pay part of the
I bet all the guys, all the
bitches leave.
All the sex robots for the guys are going to have like ads, like, and they'll be nagging you like, "Are you sure you don't want me to order some Blue Chew? Would you like some Roman wipes?"
Yeah, and you're like, I guess.
Did you mow the yard?
For some reason, you do the recruiter website, even though you don't own a business to hire someone. You just get a subscription on there. Zip Recruiter. I'm like, who the fuck is like listening to this podcast that owns their own business that's hiring people that they don't know? Oh Jesus! So the
Terminator
2. So after skipping through Beavis and Butthead being terrible, Family Guy. We did season 1, and that was a really fun episode. Like we find that one was a short season. Mm-hmm. We're able to start to game the clip system on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, guess what episode it did not like, gentlemen? American Beauty. Every short I've posted has been basically shadow banned. The episode has gotten like a fairly decent amount of watches, but the retention time is like ridiculous. Like really good retention time because like it's not on any of the click on it searches where people will be like, "What's this?" and then they're like, "No, fuck these guys." Like so, no one's had a chance to say "fuck these guys" because YouTube's like, "Yeah, that's not really here."
We don't like.
Maybe you should add like hashtag pedo, hashtag whatever. Like,
Pedro?
Yes.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is
like Taylor Swift in the title, and we'll be fine.
Swifties.
YouTube doesn't like American Beauty episode, but they loved the Hitler episode of Family Guy episode 1. That was perfectly fine for them. They were like, that's not cool, but you know what is?
You know what is? The Fuhrer of the Third Reich. That guy. Apparently that's okay. We were worried about that too. We're like, shit, I don't think you can say Hitler. Apparently, that's fine.
You're good.
Don't bring up Kevin Spacey. So the fourth one was South Park, and I think this is where we kind of settled on the format we're going to use going forward, which is basically you just pick your favorite episode out of the season. You can sum up the season. It's a little more. It's just easier to put together. Free flows a lot better. So
we got graphics for it, so everybody tuning in going forward when it comes to shows, TV shows, we'll be picking our favorite, and then everybody in the comments can talk about theirs, and we can go back maybe.
But despite all of this, the winner of this one is the X-Men series, and I think it's due to the fact that we got blackout drunk during it.
Specifically X-Men Part 2.
Part 2.
I think is exceptionally spicy.
If you watch X-Men Part 1 of us just going through it, and then you click to X-Men Part 2, like I said, it looks like we're just like in the middle of a bender, and we're like, Gibbs looks up and he's like, hey man, I'm getting out of here. I'm like, you already leaving? No, man, we still have a chonger, brah. And
wait, hold on. Was I on that episode?
No,
you're asking the wrong people.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, man. So let's talk a little bit about the thumbnails on some of our episodes. For those that don't know, Shadwick, super talented artist, graphic designer, not just young and successful, a sex symbol.
A sex symbol, yes. The face of the business.
He's the face of the business.
Okay, the face of the business. My case, all right?
He does all our thumbnails. Some of my favorite ones, the Predator one was pretty awesome, with the head being ripped off, and then the the Beetlejuice one. There's certain ones with the black and red colors. I love those pop, but I think my favorite one was the movie rental video game rental episode, where it's just our ticket in the Blockbuster spot. It just looks fucking epic, and it's at night. It's go ahead.
These are our YouTube thumbnails for those of you if you're listening. Just
they're also on the audio format. On the audio format, the thumbnails are on there. Yeah.
Oh,
I have to resize them and format them because fuck everybody. Not everybody can play on the same goddamn format for some fucking reason.
Hey, let's do our shorts and let's have our phones up like this. 916.
Lay off me, I'm starving.
It's probably the the Apple Android bullshit.
Yeah, probably.
It is, and that's
left and right.
Chris's rant is an editor's nightmare, but I just want to give a special shout out to Shadwick for all the thumbnails and the work that he does. He will work in our logo to every single one, and it's nearly every single one, and they are excellent.
Yeah,
and a lot of them are funny. My personal favorite, it's got to be the Blockbuster video, because our actual logo, the Be Kind Let's Rewind logo, is sort of a play off of
which Shadwick also did. He also did our main logo as well.
Yes, our characters, our logo, most of the graphics you see are absolutely from him. And the one where we did the episode was the 90s video game and movie rentals.
Yeah,
it looks so ominous and dark and evil with our logo pasted over the Blockbuster. That would look so cool. It looks dark.
It's like YouTube's algorithms like looking and they're like, "What's coming here?" And they're like, those guys are going to do American Beauty, aren't they?"
Shadwick also designed my face. I don't know if you guys know this, but years ago, a chimp ripped my face off, and he drew me a new one, and this is it.
You can barely tell. You can barely tell. Gibbs, do you have a favorite thumbnail or artwork of Shadwick's?
Yeah, I really like the Blockbuster one. Was like just lights out.
Gibbs
that Roadhouse one. The Roadhouse one makes me smile.
Yeah, me too.
It's good. It's really good.
Yeah, that was really good. Shadwick, personally, artistically, autistically, do you have a favorite one?
I like the Goonies.
Dude, that was a great hand-drawn one too, right?
Yeah, I actually drew that one. The Mike Tyson 80s episode where I put our logo on the
mat.
On the canvas.
Really good. I noticed that one too. It was high.
That's what's kind of unfortunate, and I think you've kind of gotten better to where in the beginning, like, because sometimes thumbnails are smaller and you can't really see depending on what screen you're looking on. You've gotten a lot better too at putting that, but that Tyson one was just like on a full screen where you can see the detail and everything. It was like, I remember us sponsoring that fight. We lost our ass in it, but we put the money in. You know,
that was the Rampage Jackson versus Machida fight, Las Vegas.
And those were Rashad Evans, but whatever.
And just for the 6 to midnight aspect of it, the 90s crushes.
Yeah, that was a fun one. We knew you were gonna come to play on that one for sure.
And then I actually really like the Sandlot one.
Yeah, I did too. I like the way that you set that one up. Also, Brad Baluchian's was really good too. The way that you set up his, just with the book and him as the author.
Oh yeah, that was really cool. That was really cool.
That was really good.
Professional. Yes. Mm-hmm. All right, enough filleting Shadwick.
Yeah, enough fellatio.
No, let's do this some more.
So this next one is going to be, I just broke it up into topics, but before we get into these 4 that we settled on, I wanted to talk about some honorable mentions. One of the ones that didn't make this list, and one of my favorites we did, was the Farley episode. And it may have been just because I just got done reading his book where his brothers just absolutely lambasted him on everything that he did in his life.
Is he mad? Like, why the hell did he do that, dude?
I mean, I don't know. They sold some books. I fucking bought it, I guess. So, I mean, here we are. Like, I'm part of the problem.
Cheers to the stud.
But that was fun to just, I feel like we really stayed on point and stayed really positive on it and kind of celebrated Chris in that episode. Really didn't. Everything now you watch is just mucking whatever, going down in the grossness. But that one was, man, thought we did a good job.
In that same vein, I enjoyed the Adam Sandler best of.
Yeah, the SNL one.
That one was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun for YouTube to clap us up on a bunch of those clips.
No, I'm the whore.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Well, I got confused. Let's go down these 4 here. Go ahead and read them off, Lee, for the topics. 4 finalists.
The 4 finalists on the topics are Adam Sandler's audio comedy classic, "What the Hell Happened to Me?" We've got the Carl Weathers tribute. Yes, R.I.P. to Carl Weathers. We've got the 90s crushes. A fan favorite, and 90s video game and movie rentals on the nostalgia topics.
Let's start off talking about the 90s video game and movie rentals. Gibbs, you joined us for that one.
I got hammered.
That was
what?
That's usually what happens. Is by the end of it, you're just like, whoops.
What'd you get hammered on, by the way?
Like, I laughed so
spicy
hard.
Pickle vodka, but the original pickle shot.
SpongeBob podcast.
So good.
Dude, I laughed so hard when I went back and I was editing that episode, and you were telling the story about how you used to harass the video clerk, like asking him if movies were back, and then you were like, I think the line or something you said in there is you're like, he would go away, or he would be like, no, it's not in. And you're like, okay, well, I'll just hang out. I don't have anything else to do.
He hated you.
Because he was walking distance from your house. This poor video clerk could just got to sit there with Kid Gibbs.
Why did he throw you out? Why did he ask you to leave, though?
Buddy, I was an intimidating 10-year-old, man.
Do you guys remember in East Ridge, there was the Blockbuster up like kind of close to the tunnels?
Mm-hmm.
Right next to it was a music store. Was that Blockbuster Music or was that Turtles? Cats.
There was Cats, and I think Turtles was at one point, but I think Cats.
Why were all music stores named after
animals?
Whatever. Cats, turtles.
What else? Do you have a better idea?
Of course he's got.
No, I mean, see, I love that 90s episode or the video store episode just because like that was the most nostalgic I have felt in a long time.
Yeah,
like,
same here.
I started thinking about things that I haven't thought about in 20 something years, and it just like a lot of memories flooded back to me that I haven't. I mean, I had suppressed, I guess, but like it felt good to do that.
Those
like,
are the best ones. I love those freelance.
So good on the whole.
On the whole, when we talked about our favorite baseball movies and we just kind of shot from the hip, or like those.
I was hammered on that one.
I remember that.
I'm sensing a theme, Gibbs. But like those are the best. Those are the most fun to me because it just does hanging out, right?
Yeah.
Like on the movies and shows and some of the topics. Like we have, if you don't have a script, you basically have this episode. So you don't want that every week. So you sometimes need to have some kind of a format and a little bit of a formula to get you through and get you from A to B. But that one was just fun.
Those episodes palate cleansers because I think everybody needs one where we're just like, all right, let's just talk about like what we remember and our personal stories.
That's like the true meaning of nostalgia. And the great thing about nostalgia is some of the shit you remember probably isn't even true or isn't right.
Oh, dude,
you're not remembering it good.
No,
but it brings you this warm feeling inside that you're like, yes. And
dude, 100%.
And then you pull your pants back up and hope nobody saw you.
Because you're in public again.
I told you I was hammered.
Do you think those robots will snuggle women afterwards?
Stop with the damn robots. Leaf, do you have any?
I'm sure that they've got like different like types. Like you have to upgrade to get the snuggles.
Yes.
Speaking of getting back on track,
that's a tier 7 model.
Yeah.
Guys, did you unlock tier 7? I did last night. That's what's going to be the chat board, the Discord on it. Leaf, I believe in that episode you also talked about choking your brother, which was pretty funny.
We had it. The 90s video game.
Those robots just do light choking.
They have pressure points.
I feel like I might have been a little bit different. I know that Gibbs and Chadwick bought a lot of their movies and stuff, but I sort of lived off of the rental store. We didn't buy a lot of video games when Blockbuster and Media Play, but Movie Gallery and all the rest were out. We just sort of rented everything, got our fill, and then
I think I said it in the episode, but I feel like we had a built-in weekly budget for that, right? The family was like, we're going to drop $5 to $10 every week at this video rental store.
Which for a working class family, which my family definitely was, that was a lot more doable. And you could argue, well, it would have been less money if you had paid it up front. But, most working class families don't think like that. It's like, hey, I've got an extra $5 or $10 after this. Why don't I rent a video game for my kids so they can beat each other to a bloody pulp over a Mortal Kombat match, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what you think because it entertains the kids. A lot of times they had movie deals too, or dinner deals where you would get food,
right?
So you would have your whole night like planned. The kids were entertained, they were fed. They were out of your hair, so you could, do your taxes or whatever the hell you wanted to do.
Yeah, taxes. My parents were doing taxes.
As an adult. We didn't know, dude. We didn't know. What the hell do you adults do?
You don't moan that much when you're doing your taxes. Let me tell you that.
You're just, oh my God, is this a deductible?
So what if those robots had like a subscription deal and you forget to subscribe? You better pull out before that subscription ends, right?
Rick and Morty covered this. You guys are going to get these things pregnant, and then it's going to be a whole.
Well, and that's another thing. A guy blows a load into one of those damn data mining systems, and they've got your DNA.
That's
you're
true.
going to be popping up in the system somewhere.
You're going to be popping up on Ancestry.com. You don't want to be on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. 23 uncles and me.
The last thing I'll say about this before we move on for the video games is to your point about the built-in the how like you get the meal, you get whatever.
Yeah.
The part of the experience was going there. That was part of like the most fun part is going to like I control my own destiny, walking in here, the smell, the sights of seeing your favorite games, seeing a movie you want to rent, and hey, it's in.
Yeah.
Like that was
Dude, even if you don't rent something, you walk around that fucking video store and you have 2 hours of like just reading the back of boxes.
Exactly,
like that. Like, an education right there.
Did you guys ever argue with your parents because they wanted to go eat first and then go to the video store, and you're like, they'll all be gone?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes, we did, and you're right. I forgot about that.
That's why you carry knives.
Yeah.
No, Shadwick's absolutely right, because it was sort of as a gamble, and you wanted to get there and get the best movies and video games before they were all rented out. So it was just the whole experience you had to be there to understand it. Like kids born after this time, with the internet and where you could instantly have this gratification, they don't understand what it's like to say, okay, there's 5 copies of this movie.
I'll be damned.
I'll be damned.
Kids nowadays don't understand that there's 5 copies of this video game, and if you don't get there on time or get lucky, you're not playing it. You don't get it. You don't have that gratification or movie. It's there.
And if you're really good, you knew that traffic picked up Wednesday and beyond. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yes.
You might as well not even go.
I'll tell you right now, like
for new releases. At least.
I don't think this ever happened in my life, but if somebody in my family told me that I did this at some point, I would be like, yeah, probably. If somebody picked up the last box, I probably would have followed that guy around and tried to fucking take it from him, or ask him for it, or cry and be like, I really wanted to see that movie. Like I would have I would have harassed that motherfucker.
I would have looked.
You're going to get the last one then.
Yeah,
well,
yeah, that's cool. I would have looked at the eyes.
This is a wasted trip for me.
And I would have just been like, man.
Walker told me I had AIDS.
So, and with that, let's move on to the 90s crush.
I need to circle back for just a second on the shit stuck in my head. That is a clear-cut winner, obviously. But also, I'm pretty sure it was a shit stuck in my head. Was Tyson talking about his back being broken?
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What, a vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
my back. It's broken.
It's spinal.
Spinal.
Do you remember in the Tyson episode though that Leaf fucked us from like Jump Street when we were about to go live? We haven't said anything about that line. We're trying to be serious about this shit, and all of a sudden Leaf just goes, my back is broken. It's spinal. And then I was like, what's up, everybody? And like, it's on our head now. Like, it's not, we can't not say it. Like, it's just jammed. You sabotaged this, bastard.
It was, dude, I mean, it was stuck in my head, man. I couldn't help it. That interview is legendary to me. Like, he's explaining, I mean, I'm sure you'll put the clip in. Yeah. Dude, it's so good, man. It's so
funny
good.
Story. I was at one of Julie's friends' houses. We were at like kind of a little pool party, and one of the guys, we were hanging out and talking, and he was just like,
I'm sorry, listener, Julie is his wife.
Yeah. So he goes, this guy's like, man, we were talking about like the Tyson Jake Paul fight, and he's like, dude, at work, man, that clip's been going around. Did you ever see that interview where he talks about like his back, and then like I just like lose my shit?
You just laugh in his face,
dude. I did. Like I just lost my shit. I was like spinal, and then he started laughing, and I was just like, yeah, okay, so it's not just us. And I was like, sponsor our podcast. Next is the '90s crushes. This one was actually I was on vacation kind of when we came up with this because I was on the beach, and I was like, well, this is all right. And me and Shadwick came up with a list because Leaf refused to participate.
He's not really rolling with the ladies.
Listen. Yes, I was,
divorcee.
Dude. Listen, all I'm saying is my group of people was into Star Trek. We were into X-Files.
Yeah, we would have gladly included that if you'd responded to a goddamn Discord.
But you know what?
You're into a lot of lonely masturbating.
Exactly. Like that's
today. Me too.
Am I wrong? I feel like that's like the average like listener's experience.
Look, you got it in. You got yours in. They're talked about in the episode.
I have to admit, I did not watch this episode. I think no idea.
No, so this one was basically like we tried to do an early '90s top 10 list. Actually ended up being
just out of curiosity. Did anybody have Dominique Moceanu?
No.
We did not.
But she would have been like 96. That was when she was in the Olympics.
Was that 96?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure, because that was later.
I was
on.
a little bit miffed that we didn't work Salma Hayek into the list because of, I guess, the year.
Yeah,
I think 94 was when she kind of came on the scene, and you wanted.
I don't know when
before that. Whatever.
I don't even know when she came on the scene.
But goddamn,
wasn't it from Dusk Till Dawn or?
That's what I think, and we
or
actually
Desperado, I think.
As we talked about in last week's episode, where Quentin Tarantino cast himself to drink some sort of liquid off of her feet.
He's got
director's choice.
Yeah.
Cheers to you, Quentin.
Cheers to the fucking stud.
You genius. Way to ruin it, Chadwick.
Yeah. So the number one in this one was Jenny McCarthy. Was our number one early 90s crush.
I wrote a song about it.
You did. Gibbs, is
like they hear it, here it go.
Is that up on Spotify?
It is.
Or is it on YouTube as well?
It's called Jenny McCarthy, Please Be My Bride. I think I just uploaded it as Jenny McCarthy, but I don't think it's on YouTube. I don't know.
Anyway, look it up. Look it up on Spotify. Gibbs's band, before he was the all-star guitarist in F&A, his band's called Splooge.
Still good. Still good.
Well, this episode's getting shadow banned.
Dude, I'm just used to it. That's why I'm just like all about audio. Audio don't give a fuck. We can say whatever we want.
True.
They were like, no, we should censor everybody. And they're like, Joe Rogan got how many fucking listens? And they're like, you know what? Let them say what they want.
It's also not an American company, so they're like, I don't give a shit what you guys think.
I don't give a shit what you guys do. The only color I care about is green.
The 90s Crushes episode was special to me because we went in and it was like reliving my younger manhood.
It was, man.
And just remembering, like, just watching, Singled Out, where a lot of the ladies came from.
Just watching your pants hit the floor around
watching
your
my pants hit the floor.
Yeah, the all-star line from that one is it was the B-52s shit when like Shadow was talking about waiting for the Janet Jackson video to come on. He's got his pants on, and then all of a sudden fucking Love Shack comes on, and Fred Snyder's like, "Hey, Shadwick, what's going on down there?"
That's as big as a well.
Yeah.
That story is so good, dude. I love it, man.
Go back and watch it. Fucking classic. That's a classic night.
I still maintain that Janet Jackson did her fair part in eliminating racism,
especially in North Georgia.
Yes.
What's racism?
Yeah, exactly. So that was a fun one.
It's not sexually transmitted. I'll tell you that.
So the next one is the Carl Weathers tribute, which was the first time. It's unfortunately probably not going to be the last time that we will tackle this. But gave the man props. Actually went back and this did me a favor of like learning a bunch of shit about Carl Weathers I didn't know because I started doing research and finding out like, dude, stud football player. Made it to the NFL, cut by John Madden, goes to play in the CFL before he starts his acting career, and called his shot that he was going to play in the NFL, play professional football, and then be an actor on like some dating show.
Truth or Date?
Yeah, he was on Truth or Date, and he called his shot.
If you guys didn't know, just this week or maybe last week, he did get his Hollywood Walk of Fame star.
That's awesome, man.
That's really good. That's good.
I would like to think that we had a big.
He didn't have much to say about it, but
yeah, thanks to us. Thanks to us, yeah, he got his like.
We're calling. Like we had a hand in that, I feel like Gibbs. Did you watch that one? I'm just going to cut it out if you say no.
No. All right, cut.
Gibbs is like, I don't like this show.
No. Like I see Carl Weathers right after he dies. I'm like, no, it's gonna make me sad.
Yeah,
it's sad except for the fact that I cut together
You did cut together an epic. Basically, he cut together a tribute of every movie of him getting killed to Carl Weathers singing "We've Only Just Begun."
I'm sorry, those are my finer moments, and if any of y'all get mad, I don't care because it's how I deal with trauma. And
bro, he would have laughed. that shit.
That episode should have just been like 3 hours of him and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Dylan, you son of a bitch.
Is that the one that I did the ghost arm on?
You
there?
did.
Yeah.
That shit was hit hard.
You didn't see that, Gibbs?
I don't watch your shit.
All this is staying in.
My dad loves your shit.
Yeah, my dad loves your shit.
You pay me to appear on it. You don't pay me to watch it.
I don't pay you to watch it. That's another fee. We can't afford that yet.
You guys are getting paid?
Yeah, but if you guys start buying our merch and when our Patreon comes up, you subscribe, we can get Gibbs to watch our stuff. And that's what's important.
Please.
And probably another one
Please.
Probably one of our episodes that's on Patreon now. It's been wiped from the internet. Is the Lost Boys, and we decided.
I love that episode.
We decided it's Jamie Gertz, right? That plays Star. We're gonna make a T-shirt with her picture on it. It says "All up in them Gertz."
Be kind. Let's rewind. Poncho podcast.
She says this. One day when we make these jokes, Mike Tyson sees us laughing at his lisp.
I thought she was wonderful in Twister.
Yeah. Let's just come destroy us. It's fine.
So we'll come to the winner of this topic. The winner of this one is "What the Hell Happened to Me." Woo! And this was
respect.
This album was just one that all four of us listened to fucking death, and so. I would like to, if you guys want to comment on this or even go back and watch the episode. Gibbs, you said that you were listening to this like in your house, like when we this is when we were kind of starting to figure it out a little bit. Like
this was like, so I think that that Lost Boys might have been the very first episode of yours that I listened to, and like I was listening to it regularly, and I was like, oh man, they're really getting this shit. This is starting to work. And then that what the hell happened to me episode. I was just listening. I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to this. I'm going to sit on my love seat. I'm just sitting here. I'm not doing anything else. I'm bored. I put it on, and Sarah and Eli come into the living room and they start watching TV, and they're sitting on the couch, and I have my earbuds in, so I can't.
I'm sorry, listener. Sarah is his wife, and Eli is the mistake by the lake.
And so we were Eli, my mistake on the lake, and my mistake at the altar twice. It's on the couch, and I'm laughing the entire freaking time, and they like I'm my face is red. I'm losing. I'm just laughing so hard the entire damn thing, and. They stop watching TV and they're just watching me, like how ridiculously. And I thought that was the funniest shit. And it's not just like what the skits were. It was just part of it was the nostalgia of like I hadn't listened to that episode or that CD in a while.
Man.
Yeah,
and then part of it was like you guys, like you could tell the love that everybody had. Like you guys felt the love for that, and everybody had a different like weird ass shit, and nobody wanted to say how "Do It for Mama" was your like favorite.
But I continue to use that voice in there. I know that nobody on YouTube saw the American Beauty episode because, hey, YouTube. But there was a good line in there where I was like, Shaddy, is this why you take so long at the shower? And that's direct ripoff of Adam Sandler's Do It for Mama. So
He's got a big one. You know that.
You know that.
He's got a cock. He's got balls.
You want to stab my jugs and play at a healthy wang of yours.
You gotta soak his strong, or at least bite his nuts.
Seriously, if you guys have not listened to that Adam Sandler album, and it's kind of hard to find because he's now an adult or a parent, and he's like, oh shit. But if you can get that CD, listen to it, and just like, there's no way you will not laugh the entire time.
Do you think he's gonna be stoked that he won a Rewindy?
I think he might actually. This might change the course of what the remainder of his life.
I mean, so
he won a Razzie for. That's my boy, right?
No.
Wait, for That's My Boy.
No.
Yeah. So
listen, I understand Jack and Jill, but That's My Boy.
Yeah, that's my boy, dude. Yeah.
I want to say that album, it was peak Adam Sandler. Like I know a lot of people had this idea who Adam Sandler was, but you have to remember when this album was released, like nobody really knew who he was. He was just like up and coming comedian. He obviously did stand up comedy. He was. This was before like
he was coming off of SNL or in SNL, and then he had one before this. Then he releases this album, I believe, after Lauren fired him. Adam,
Adam.
Exactly.
Let me try an impression of him. Hi.
That's as good as Sean's impression. It's excellent.
Yeah.
So like there was just a bunch of college kids and young male listeners, mostly admittedly, who just really, really attached themselves to his over the top comedy, and it's extremely vulgar. It's laden with profanity, but it's just it hits so hard to the.
How many times, Chris, over the years have I've asked you like if you could hang out or whatever, and you're like, I can't tonight. I'm like, what do you got to do that's so fucking important? You can't join the religious cult with me,
dude. What I was thinking the other day. What's great about this, especially when Gibbs joins us on the show, is you have like me and Leaf that basically grew up together. Gibbs joined us like in our 20s, and then Shadwick joined us like in our late 20s, like 30s, right? So but yet we all listen to the same shit. We all had the same stories.
Oddly enough, I was in a cult whenever that album came out. For those of you who don't know, I'm a Mormon.
Oh, so the night time is the right time.
But that goes to show why.
I can't believe you're pulling this shit on me after Monday night.
That just goes to show you why this deserves the Rewindy, because it hit on so many levels for so many young men all across the country and everyone. And that episode where we covered it, it's just sort of us going over what we remember about it, and it hits because everyone kind of had similar experiences.
Also, amazing thumbnail too, with the goat and then us on the truck.
Oh yeah, goat. That tattered bumper sticker.
Yeah. That was
how long did you guys identify with that skit about you never ever get the pussy?
I mean, still
exclusively.
Marriage and never-ending compromise. Sponsor our podcast.
But why are we the ones that always have to compromise?
Eternal question, shall we?
And the great thing about that one is it kind of is a lost media. So like it's one of those where like a lot of people probably have to just use their memories to remember it. And using that podcast, that episode, it kind of like unlocks that. Oh yeah, I remember that shit.
Yeah.
Were there a lot of albums back then that had skits like that?
The Jerky Boys existed, but they weren't.
That
really
wasn't really
skits.
a skit. That was prank phone calls.
There were. I mean, I think Cheech and Chong had one, didn't they?
Yeah,
way back in the 70s.
I think they had a few albums.
So it wasn't an original concept, but
no, the comedy albums and stand-up comedy albums and all that were sort of fell in the same genre. But there wasn't I don't remember a lot of popular sketch comedy. Correct me in the comments section, in YouTube, Spotify, whatever, if I'm wrong. But I don't remember a lot of comedy, sketch comedy, I would, audio albums.
I would say that, Bob Newhart, Button Down the Mind of Bob Newhart.
Oh.
Like, even though it was stand-up comedy, he did sketches, like phone sketches.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was like an act.
I do remember listening to
the Abe Lincoln thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The Abe Lincoln and the it's existed, but I think that this was the way that it was produced and everything like that. I can't remember of anything.
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, sponsor our podcast.
I remember Monty Python actually did some.
Oh, that's right.
Some audio comedy stuff like that.
That's true. They did have the bow tie thing.
But we just don't.
But that was just a flesh wound.
A lot of their albums were just rehashes from their television.
Yes,
because they found out there was another media that they could stack bills on.
It's just a fleshlight.
It's only a fleshlight.
We've forgotten, but this Adam Sandler's top tier, 100%.
So I hope he's really excited. He won a Rewindy. We'll just have to hit him up on it. We'll go ahead and move over to our final category, guys. As in every award show, the best movie is the one that I believe is like one of the last ones when
Best Picture.
Hollywood is stroking their own fucking egos and being like, hey, you did great because these 4 guys said so. Fuck box office and all that other stuff. Anyway, fuck Rotten Tomatoes. These movies I guess we've covered more movies than we did anything else, which is going to happen because
say that.
if you look on how many movies released every year, it's fucking ridiculous.
Well,
it is.
I mean, if you look at, is it 94? I think all the fucking banger movies that were released.
Dude.
Like
99 too. Like,
94 is like best picture category is like the most stacked I think ever. Like, just insane.
And I mean, it
should have gone to Shawshank.
There's no doubt that. There's no doubt that like this is sort of what we've became known for because these are one of the when you think of nostalgia, most people sort of gravitate towards movies most of the time because
especially in the 80s and 90s too, because like we went to theaters,
Yeah,
and then
well, there was no
them, and
there was no internet when a lot of these like came out. There was look, what were you going to do, right?
And plus, and we're all, you talked about, we come from like different backgrounds, but we're all cinephiles.
Yeah.
That's legal in all 50 states.
Go.
As long as the film's above the age 14 in Utah.
Except for Alabama.
Yeah. It's encouraged.
Is this your screen name? I definitely want to fuck a 14-year-old.
Don't worry about it. We can talk about Alabama. They don't have the internet yet.
Yeah. What are you doing? Just fucking Chris Hansen.
Yeah, but I mean, the movie theater used to be like this, just, and it still is for me, but it used to be like this special thing. If your parents are like, hey, we're going to the movie theater, you're like,
dude, it's a huge deal.
Dude.
Yeah.
Hey, you couldn't.
And they're like, we're going to go see Steel Magnolias. And you're like, oh, God damn it.
God damn it.
But even then, you could go to the fucking arcade in the lobby.
So going to the movies is still a big theme because I just purchased tickets today. Me and the wife are going to go tomorrow night to see Beetlejuice.
Oh, we're going this weekend too.
And I want you to know that those 2 tickets clocked in at just shy of $42.
Don't do this.
$42. I checked Wednesday, and there were no like 2 seats together.
No shit.
So
Keith,
maybe,
man.
maybe movies are back.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Yeah.
Good for
Yeah.
Keith. You know what it is though? It's these old movies that are kicking guys like us that are like, I miss it.
You know what?
Last
week I went to see the Deadpool Wolverine movie,
dude.
And that, I mean, that was a lot of fun. That thing is crushed at the theaters. Like
it did.
Unfortunately, you have to have like some sort of IP in order to make it in the theaters right now.
It killed overseas where there's no God. where there's no religion.
And how much were movie tickets when Gibbs, Chris, and I were together? Do y'all remember
first started?
$7.25.
I used $6.50 when I started.
Whenever I was
then it went to $7, and then it went to $7.25.
Whenever I was working at the movie theater, the first time I started working at the movie theater, it was like $6.50 for the like regular, and then like $4.50 for matinee or something like that. But there was a theater in Orlando that was in walking distance of my house at the South Chase Cinemas. It's still open, by the way.
Orlando.
Yeah, on Orange Blossom Trail, and it was $1.50 to see movies.
Wow.
Like it was a second run theater, but like it was like, once they are out of theaters,
it moved to the outer realms.
I saw a lot of movies like where I was like, I don't have to see this right now, but then like word of mouth gets around, and you're like, okay, now I'm gonna go see
the nominees for the Rewindies.
I'm gonna have 2 runners up on this, by the way.
All right,
the nominees.
The nominees are Coming to America, the original, RoboCop, obviously. The original, Jurassic Park, obviously, without a shadow of a doubt, the original, and of course, Predator, not the Chris Hansen show, but the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And
so Shadwick
brought
Coming to America to us and was like, "Hey, we should cover this." And I'll be honest, I
That's where I'm going.
Shit. I hadn't seen this movie in fucking forever, and us covering this movie made this movie one of my favorite movies now. And it wasn't before. Like, I didn't dislike it. It was just I'd seen it a couple times, probably hearing it on TV. But like Chadwick's passion for this movie and like breaking it down, all the little quotes, like that's where I'm going. Shit, like all that stuff, like so fucking funny, man. This movie so far ahead of its
you
time.
You ain't never
too.
met no Frank Sinatra.
So good, dude.
Chadwick, what made you pick this?
Fuck you.
What made you pick this, man? When did this one connect with you?
I had so much fun just talking about it because like every line is like so animated. It's perfect. Like it goes, you have your really animated characters, you have your like more subtle delivered lines.
Mm-hmm.
It's just great. You got fuck his dad's name, James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
He's like
Jimmy.
Where he's like he's talking to
no one.
Where he's talking to him before the wedding, and he's wanting to like sow his royal oats or whatever.
Yeah.
The guy comes in, he's like, the guests are waiting. He's like, let them wait.
Yeah, he's just
James Earl Jones. I'm talking to my son.
Yeah,
that voice, man.
But I think that might be the first movie I remember someone breaking the fourth wall too,
where he looks at the screen.
Yeah.
I want to say that, like, I could definitely say that for me, this is one of the movies. If you haven't watched Coming to America, go back and watch it. And I mean, legitimately watch it. And if you grew up the way that we did, it was always on. And so I understand what Chris is saying is that a lot of times there's so many movies just playing in the background.
Right.
That's what we did for entertainment. They're on TV. People watch the videos. They're in the movie theaters.
It was like 92, 91. Like I'm on my fucking phone. I'm on Twitagra.
You guys got to understand, especially you youngins out there. You didn't get to really choose what you watched back then.
Yeah, that's
like,
very true.
You didn't just be like, "What do I want to watch?" No, you did get to like look at the TV Guide channel, which took 20 minutes to go through like 5 channels. But like most of the time, you're just like, "Okay, I'm just going to stick it on TNT, and whatever happens."
Do you guys remember going to buy the Sunday paper? So you could have the TV Guide.
Yeah, you could have the TV Guide. Yeah. And then half the time it was wrong.
Yeah, a lot of times because the Switch.
Yeah, just like the X-Men cartoon. It was supposed to start in September, and that motherfucker didn't start until October.
October, yeah.
And then it was so wrong that they ended up having a channel devoted to what's on the other channels.
Hey guys, I was trying to watch the NBA Finals, and then all of a sudden there's a white Bronco running down the slowly running down the damn street.
You know what, man? I mean, and it's AC. Damn it! You know who I am.
Hey, so my brother-in-law lives across the street from me. He actually owns that exact same model Bronco, and it's white. Like,
I'm a Magic fan, man. This is the only time I get to watch the fucking.
I'm AC, damn it.
To Gibbs's point, though, like you're right. You weren't always able to. You weren't able to choose generally what it was you were watching. You watched what was on, and if you were busy or something happened or you looked away, you just missed the spot. Like you missed what was happening.
And there's no rewind.
There's no rewind, and
you can't be kind. You can't rewind.
No, and people weren't going to rewind it for you if your whole family was watching it.
Oh shit!
And you looked away or did something or annoyance happened. They're not rewinding the.
Especially
they're not
Leaf's
getting
dad.
up.
Leaf's dad is not rewinding that shit.
No, you did not ask my dad for shit.
Shout out
my
to
dad
sponsor our podcast.
Hey, Leaf was like, Dad, I missed that. Will you rewind it? He's like, how?
Exactly. Like no one was helping.
I get it.
Why?
Why?
Be careful, Chadwick. That low-hanging fruit may fucking break your foot one day.
Yeah. It was good. I liked it.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
I thought that was good. But you were literally relegated to just watching what was on, and you were watching it with your family. And I think this contributes to a lot of why when these movies come up that you maybe have seen 1,000 times, you don't remember portions of them because you were sort of always doing other things while they were playing, and they just played. They played.
Or We saw it on Fox.
That's what I mean.
We saw an R-rated movie on Fox.
They were edited. Yeah,
that was a
heavily
big thing for me, and that's what I'd like watching movies and doing this podcast too, especially with Shadwick and with Leaf. Is like, and especially when we bring Gibbs on too, because I feel like we just kind of get loose. But Gibbs and Shadwick especially have like unique views on film.
I know Gibbs makes me loose.
So like Shadwick will see a lot of like,
call me Donnie.
Like that's
girl, don't make me go loose.
Please don't go, girl.
Please don't go,
girl. Shadwick will see a lot of background, like like in the Pulp Fiction episode when he's talking about the light angles and like the vibrant colors and stuff. Gibbs will see a lot of shit story wise that I won't pick up. Like he just picks up a lot of stuff that I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I didn't connect that because I'm stupid. And me and Leaf just sit here and like, oh yeah, that's gay, and that's basically like the podcast. So
did you see when they high-fived? That was cool.
Right. So there was this story from my brother and I. Like we used to watch, we saw the original film. It was Liam Neeson as Darkman. Does anybody remember that?
I love that movie. I love that movie. Sam Raimi movie. Yes.
Let me tell you, one of the funniest TV edits, and I'm sorry, none of you will ever see this. You 100% can't find it.
We've tried.
Liam Neeson Liam Neeson, aka Darkman. He was taking his girlfriend to a carnival, and they were enjoying themselves. And there was a guy that was like cheating or whatever the case may be at a carnival show. And there was an altercation. The carnival worker is like poking him in the chest. And he's just like, listen, man. He was just like, you cheated somehow. You cheated me.
Right.
And it was a carnival game where you throw the ball and you knock the milk bottles over.
Yeah, right.
But they were like solidified, right?
Right.
But
they're like glued down and shit.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, the carnival guy was cheating, but Darkman has superpowers, so he freaking knocks him down, and the guy's really mad at him.
Yeah.
And like he pokes Darkman in the chest. Like Liam Neeson's character is just like, listen, man, take the prize and get out of here. And Darkman grabs his fingers and like snaps them back like these rubbery things. And the guy's like screaming, and the girl that Liam Neeson's dating is screaming too, because just like snapped this guy's fingers completely up. And he grabs the toy that he won, and it's like a stuffed elephant, and he slams it in his girlfriend's chest. And the actual line is, take the fucking elephant.
Right.
Like, and she's screaming and freaking out.
Right.
But in the TV show,
on the USA Network,
it's dubbed "Take the Fuzzy Elephant."
Oh,
and my brother and I, we still quote that to this very day. He'll yell at me, "Take the fuzzy elephant."
That's not as bad as The Big Lebowski. That's what happens when you make friends with people in the Alps.
And the original line is what?
Guys,
that's what happens when you fuck people in the ass.
What's up, Gibbs?
No, well,
is that all right, Gibbs?
First off, I'm hammered. But first off, Darkman.
I drank all
the chick is Academy Award winner Frances McDormand with Liam Neeson and director Sam Raimi, who made the Spider-Man trilogy.
Yeah,
was the one that directed that movie. Great fucking movie with a good cameo.
Darkman is fantastic. And my brother loved it. We saw the original version, but that just destroyed us.
But edited movies, if you have ever seen Mallrats on TV,
oh my god,
that is the absolute worst.
The J dub overs are horrendous.
It is so fucking terrible, and they don't. None of the voiceovers.
That I feel like Kevin Smith may have done it on purpose.
They probably got Breckenmeyer to come in and do it for them.
Allegedly. Like so.
But like Mallrats is the absolute worst TV edit I have ever seen in my entire fucking life.
I've never even tried to watch it on TV.
Which one is
Snakes on a Plane is a close second, but that one is done on purpose.
Which one is the Buck? My name is Buck and I like to party.
That's Kill Bill.
Kill Bill.
Bill.
That's right. Yeah. That's also a terrible dub. So anyway,
find that one.
Thanks for coming to America. So let's go.
USA.
You must be out your goddamn
Jurassic
mind.
Park.
Let's go to Jurassic Park, man. So Gibbs, was this the second one you joined us for?
I don't know.
I think it's the second one. We'll get to the first one. So this is, I believe this is the second one you joined us for.
pretty
It was
sure,
Jurassic Park. This is one of our favorite movies. At least I know me and Leaf saw it together in theaters, which is always kind of special when we cover a movie on this thing where we're actually like, yeah, dude, like 30 years ago, 30 years, what the fuck? We got to go see this together. The reliving it, like with Gibbs, with some behind the scenes shit. I read the book, like, you know, Shadwick especially, again, with his like graphic diagnosis where he can kind of see the CGI. Like, I didn't notice, like, when you talked about the ghost, the dinosaur in the water, in that one scene where it's like the far away shot, and you're like, you could tell it's CGI. I never fucking noticed that till you said it, and I went back and I was like, oh shit, I gotta stop.
Thanks, Shadwick.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I gotta stop talking to Shadwick, and I deleted your number.
I think my family hates watching movies with me sometimes because, like, I'm the guy that's like, hold on a second, let me pause this. How the fuck did that T-Rex get up that motherfucking thing? You know, like,
yes. How did he get into the room at the end?
But I will say, like, Jurassic Park is one of my all-time favorite movies, movie-going experiences. Like, so many memories. But that podcast was so much fun for me.
Yeah,
like, that was so much fun.
Well, I never knew about how many takes they had to shoot where Samuel L. Jackson's arm comes across the girl.
It falls. Yeah,
because
falls
she kept automatically grabbing her purse.
You just gonna use the same joke again.
Well,
yeah, that was a good joke.
It was Gibbs' joke.
I like that one.
I didn't know that was a joke.
My joke was
joke.
There was foreshadowing that he was going to die because they showed his skin color. That was
one of my favorite things that I did selfishly in that episode was at some point in time we decided to call Newman, who I forgot the actor's name. We just call him Nedry. Nedry was his name in Jurassic Park. We just started calling him Newman. So I found this YouTube clip that was every time Jerry saw Newman and was like, Newman. So I put a new Newman every time somebody's like, and then Newman showed up and he'd be like, Newman. And it was throughout the entire fucking episode was a different Newman.
What was the guy that he met with? Like
Dotson. We got Dotson.
Yes,
Dotson.
That line cracks me up.
Yeah,
like Dotson. We got Dotson here. Nobody cares.
I did that. I think I did that to Eli down in Atlanta last week when we went to the Green Day concert last week.
That's awesome.
We were at a restaurant and he was like, I didn't want to say it. I was like, Dotson, we got Dotson here. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. The meme is so real because yes.
All right, man. So let's move on from Jurassic Park to the number 3 nominee, Predator.
My favorite movie.
This was I was going to say, this is Lee's favorite movie. I actually watched this with some friends.
It's Carl Weathers. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's just it's the greatest. It's like one
Sonny
of the
Landham
power.
Yeah.
Yes, Sonny Landham.
Jesse the Body.
There were two former U.S. governors and one potential governor in Sonny Landham.
That's crazy, yeah.
Dude,
wow.
It was such
an Indian companion.
Yes.
Someone coming.
Sonny.
That was Sonny Landham.
Sonny Landham. But yes, it has an absolute power pack cast. All the dudes are freaking ripped. They're competing about off screen who could be the rippedest dude on screen. And there
longest on screen handshake.
Yeah.
There is literally zero fat in this movie from start to finish.
Do you think the 7-time Mr. Olympia might have the edge on those guys?
No. Maybe.
No.
He might.
This thing was great for me to go back and watch because I'd seen it. I'd seen it at Lee's house a few times, but it was like usually I'm like, we're gonna watch this like because I want to go outside and play. But it was one of the first times I've actually sat down and watched it in a very long time, and I was like, God damn, this movie is great. And then I thought to myself, hey, you know that waterfall scene? I could maybe put the Baywatch theme song to it, and it may work. And I'll be goddamned if it didn't work all the way through. So
that's from our 90s Crushes episode.
Right. No, it was in Predator.
But but like I thought.
The Baywatch. Yeah. No, I didn't talk about that
song.
I didn't talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Chris. Yeah, if you see that edit, if you haven't seen it, it's really funny. because he does fall as he's running from the predator, and that shit will get stuck in your head.
Do you guys want me to do my 2 runner-up movies before we go to the final one?
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait,
I have
does Gibbs have anything else to say about Predator before we move on?
One of the greatest movies of all time.
Thank you.
Hands down, one of the greatest movies. It just flows. It's fun. It's when it's over, you're just like, that was great.
Point too. Like,
you want to high five everybody in the theater whenever you're done.
There's
with that
no
movie.
fat on it, man. There's nothing to cut. Everything's like concise, compact, like story told.
Great performances.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
I mean, even the behind the scenes shit is crazy with Jean-Claude Van Damme being the original fucking Predator and shit.
Jean-Claude
like that.
Van Damme not being in the movie at all.
Too bad he couldn't.
Well, no, like, I mean, if you look at the original design, they really lucked out. You know,
dude,
like they fucking fixed it.
Too bad he couldn't stick around.
Yes,
one-liners. So many great one-liners.
Quintessential
When people
one-liners.
do Arnold impersonations and shit like that, that's always in there. You know, that's always one of them. You know, he does so many. It's such a beautiful movie. Like fuck yeah,
it really is.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
No, that's different.
The wrong one.
That's
All right,
the
let's. All right,
That was
thank you for
against
that,
the
Shadwick.
scores.
All right, go ahead. Give us your runners up.
I had a lot of fun with Friday.
Yeah, dude, that was a good one too.
And then it hasn't released yet, but I think I had somehow forgotten how much I fucking love Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, you may have forgotten it in that episode, but due to on your off days, you start drinking at noon.
Yeah,
I will say
you don't get to interrupt that.
Yeah,
behind the scenes, like I think we in just a handful of days we recorded 3 episodes of Major League.
Oh yeah.
Was that the one that didn't record?
No, it recorded. No. It was ass. Like it was Leaf. Leaf was sick. It was me, you, and Gibbs. Yeah, and we recorded Major League. We tried.
I will tell you, like, as much as like nobody will ever see the original. Thank God, the original thing that we recorded. But I'll tell you, I had a whole lot of fun on all 3 recordings, man. They weren't good episodes, but goddamn, that was a lot of fun,
dude. When I texted you guys, we walked away, and I just was thinking in my head, like I was kind of going over. I was like, I was doing the panic thing. Anybody that ever edited any video, you're like, can I save that? What I was thinking.
For people that don't know, and I'm sure that's everybody, we recorded an episode of Major League, and we finished it, and it was just me, Shadwick, and Chris, and we finished it, and all 3 of us were just like, fuck.
Yeah, it was just
it was like
it didn't work. It didn't flow. There's something was wrong, and so I walked away.
Chris was a goddamn genius and a savior, and you can tell the rest. But Jesus,
yeah. So I walked away. Like we all log off. We log off of Riverside Sponsor Out Podcast. And then I go away, and I was like, okay, wait. What if we just all like let's look up top 10 baseball movies, and let's just run through them. Like everybody come up with like your favorite, top 10 baseball movies or whatever. And then so we just started going over like favorite baseball movies, and it flowed. It was easy. It worked. And that was more up our speed because
it was off the cuff, and it was cuffed, and it was fun. And it was
because like Leaf is kind of the point guard especially for movies and shit. Leaf kind of props to Leaf getting the synopsis together, keeping us on track, all that shit. Like,
oh, Captain, my Captain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, side note, my favorite baseball movie is Mr. Baseball. So I just want to throw that out there.
It's a good one, but no.
We'll tell that story one day on Patreon, but not tonight.
So, Shadwick, did you have any more?
No, I just
terrific.
I just wanted, Pulp Fiction is great.
Pulp Fiction episode is fantastic. What was your other one again?
I've not seen. Friday was the other one. It's
and
good.
Friday was a really good episode too. It had a lot of stars in it. There's a lot of memeable, quotable moments in that film as well. That was an excellent episode.
Boy, what the fuck do you want?
So, dude, let's move on to the winner of our
chicken.
Be kind, let's rewind.
Have you seen my wiener?
The rewindy winner is
RoboCop. Baby, with starring Gibbs, of course. This is his first, I believe, foray.
First appearance.
Yeah, it was my first one.
Yeah, we brought him in because he is the quintessential RoboCop expert that we know.
Yep.
You want to explain? You want to explain why that is, Gibbs? You want to explain it?
You want to explain it?
I've watched
You
this
speak
movie
English good enough.
more than any other movie I think in existence. It's fun. It's great. It's perfect. Every line of dialogue, every bit of action, everything. The director was amazing. The cinematographer was amazing. The script was perfect. Everything is perfect in this movie. And I watch it. I watch it religiously. I watch it all the freaking time. I watch the crappy sequels just because it's part of the same. I have a love of it. I had the action figures. This RoboCop is a part of me, you know.
Did you have the action figures with the cap blasters on the back?
Yeah, I had that, and I had one that had the removable helmet, and I lost the helmet, and it was probably the saddest day of my life,
dude.
So I did that, and the one that I lost the helmet on, I just like trashed him. Like I made him the one that had all the shit fall on top of him at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
so,
which is what that was him.
Gibbs, who's the guy that played RoboCop?
Peter Weller.
Yeah, Peter Weller.
Yeah, so he's I saw like on social media he does a lot of cons. So we definitely need to make one out to and give him his Rewindy because he won it fair and square.
He did. He deserves it.
Paul Verhoeven, like director, is like he's I guess he fell out of favor after Showgirls.
He did that movie?
Why?
Yeah. I don't know, but he's directed a lot of my favorite movies. He did RoboCop. He did Basic Instinct, Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Starship Troopers is great. Like I mean,
I love Starship Troopers.
He was very like exploitive and provocative. But the thing is, like, there was a reason for everything, and a lot of people
he was big into satire, right?
Yeah, it was a lot of people didn't realize, you know, like Starship Troopers, people were like, well, this is just fascist propaganda. No, it was making fun of fascist propaganda, and people just took it wrong. You know, like a lot of his movies were misunderstood. He fucked up on Showgirls, but I had no problem with Showgirls. Love it. Not because it was a good movie.
Yeah,
I was just young enough to think that it was great.
It wasn't that bad, and it's overblown. Like that movie is not even like
it's overblown.
But a lot of it is done on purpose. Like all of that shit was done on purpose. There was a reason behind it. Did it work? I don't know. But
let's watch it.
I like.
I'm actually. It's on the screen right behind my.
So what about RoboCop that I love now is like I watched it. There's some people at work. I gave them some shout outs that were like the movie meant a lot to them. Like their dad, like it was their favorite movie and all this kind of stuff. But like Gibbs kind of unlocked a whole lot of shit for me that I didn't. Again, it's like Gibbs and Chadwick and Leaf too. Like where you guys will see something I don't, or Gibbs talking about the director and like connecting some dots where I wouldn't connect dots. Oh, this guy directed this, and it's like, oh shit, that makes sense. Like this was one of those movies where I was like, Gibbs kind of put on a clinic on his first one. I'll tell you what he didn't put on a clinic on, and that was his goddamn audio that I had to fucking have a fit with.
That was my bad.
We're using an Xbox headset.
Just so everybody knows, it wasn't even the headset. The headset wasn't a problem. I was using my computer audio, and I didn't realize.
You didn't realize it, and so like
I've never done this stuff before, guys.
It picked up the room. And it was like I was able to get it. I was able to get it. Okay.
We probably did 10 episodes before I realized that my mic was turning on the wrong way.
Yeah, same here. So it's okay.
Mine's the same way. I didn't like the new one that I got. Even like I didn't realize that you had to turn it a certain way because it receives from like the sides over here, and then I was like, God damn it! Like I really do not understand the technological aspect.
I can say what you're doing right now. Don't change it. Like your audio is great right now.
It's gonna be fucked next time. I promise.
Please,
the video.
I have a kid. I have a kid who loves touching my shit.
Yeah. Oh man, dude. What? So it was the editing nightmare on that episode, but let me tell you, it was probably one of the more meatier episodes that we've ever done because, like Gibbs said, it is an 80s classic. It is one of the most quintessential movies that you could watch. It's extremely violent. It is campy in a lot of places, but it's wonderful. It's a microcosm of a time period in my personal opinion. And Gibbs can go in more detail, but it's a beautiful movie, man. It's so funny.
It's a fucked up movie in many ways, ultra violent, but it is done for a reason. Everything in it is done for a reason. You know, there is a reason for it. It makes fun of and pokes
Bitches leave.
pokes at American culture, and a lot of it is true today. You look at it and you're like, this is how it actually fucking is. Like
the medical commercials and some of the jokes that you see, because it will cut and there'll be TV commercials cut into the movie as if you're watching them sort of like on TV, and they're really poignant and they're still good. Like Gibbs said, they're still really good.
And I'll tell you guys, I'll tell everybody out there right now, if you're about to go into a job interview and you really want shut the fuck up for a second. If you really want this fucking job, man, put your earbuds in, and as you're walking in, listen to the soundtrack of RoboCop. And you are going to fucking nail that goddamn interview.
You will.
You will have so much confidence in the world. You'll be like, dun, 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 dun. And you're gonna sit down, and they're gonna be like, okay, so what are your qualifications? You're gonna be, you're gonna give me this fucking job. You're gonna do it now, dead or alive. It's coming with me.
That's really an ominous way to start or end an interview, but
it is. And
then shoot them if they don't hire you. Cut that.
Cut that. And with that, guys, I think that's a fitting end to the Rewindies. I want to thank Gibbs for coming on with us, who unanimously won our favorite guest we've had co-host with us.
Absolutely.
Don't check out my socials.
I want to say, gentlemen, this has been the best podcast I could have ever done with any of my friends. I can't wait to see where we go, what we do with this. This has been the most fun I've ever had doing anything.
In all sincerity, it really means a lot to me that you guys have me on here, and after like I did the first one on RoboCop, I was like, I'm never gonna get asked back on this fucking thing. And the fact that you guys keep asking me on, it really does mean a lot to me, and I do enjoy what you guys do and everything like that. And
well,
dude,
we still need. We're going to need you for Fight Club and Good Will Hunting.
Fight Clubs.
At least.
And all the video games. We're going to need you for a lot of shit, Gibbs. We're going to sponsor our podcast. We have to afford Gibbs.
I love you. I do. I don't get paid. I promise you guys. But I do love you guys. and I do love this podcast. And I believe in what you guys do. And it does mean a lot to me what you guys
Thanks, Gibbs. And with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and take us over to our Norm Macdonald clip of the week.
Hey, for the 9th consecutive year, Nick, JetBlue Airlines ranked first for satisfaction among all North American airlines. But you know what ranked least in satisfaction? 9/11 Airlines. What a terrible name for an airline. It reminds me of that tragedy. Oh, 9/11. You know, don't laugh at 9/11 again. I tried to tell him not to laugh. Adam. I know. I walked through blood and bones in the streets of Manhattan trying to find my brother. Jesus. Yeah, he was in northern Canada.
She said,